If you're one of my over 50 friends out there, I think you're going to really enjoy this video. I've scoured my makeup collection and found quite a few products that I think rival high-end brands. This is not a dupes video, but these are just going to be alternatives that I've discovered and I think you'll enjoy as well. In my opinion, I think these work wonderful on our over 50 skin. So if that sounds like something that interests you, then let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So as you can see, I have already prepped my skin with my skincare products and I've already applied some of my makeup just to speed things along a little bit. And they're not products that I'm including in the video. What I'll do is I'll just show you what I did use. For my primer today, I used the Milani The Bright Side. I like using this one with the particular foundation I'm going to show you. It really does help brighten my appearance. And for color corrector, I used my Clinique Even Better color corrector, one of my favorites. It's in the shade Peach. The eyeshadow that I used today is by MAC, and it is in the palette Embedded in Burgundy. It's a very, very pretty palette. Simple, only has 6 shades, but I ended up using 3 of those shades on my eyes today. It's just a fun little palette to use in the fall. And then all of my skincare products are on as well, including sunscreen. So as I've told you guys before, I'm always on the hunt for products that are comparable to the higher end luxury brands, but are much more affordable. Are they going to have the same packaging? No, probably not. That's part of the price of higher end brands. You're paying for that packaging as well. I like to concentrate more on the quality of the product, the formula. This isn't going to be a dupes video, really. I'm not comparing shades and stuff like that. I just wanted to share with you products that I think are a great alternative to those luxury brands or higher end brands, but at a fraction of the cost. This is just my honest opinion. Yes, absolutely. There's products out there that are my go-tos. I absolutely love them and cost a little bit more. But at the end of the day, I just want products that are going to work for my 56-year-old dry, mature skin. So I think I have a nice selection here of about 6 products from different categories. And I got the idea for this video from a recent video that I posted where I included this product. It's the L'Oreal True Match foundation. And I thought, you know what, this really does compare to another high-end, and this is a luxury brand, but I think this is a wonderful alternative to the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. Now, I'm not going to do a side-by-side comparison today just because I do have to do a bunch of errands today, and I'm also doing some things tonight. So I didn't want my makeup looking a little bit off. So that I'm just going to show you the products that are drugstore. If I have a product that is the more expensive brand, I'll try and swatch that for you. So let's start off with the L'Oreal. Now, what makes this one a great affordable option to some of these higher end brands? I think they both look very natural looking. This blends in so nicely. So there's the L'Oreal and there's the Giorgio Armani. So the L'Oreal is a little bit more runnier. But even blended out, look at how beautiful they both are. And then when you go to compare prices, well, that's a huge difference. So I've just taken it off my hand now because I do want to just wear the L'Oreal. I do have this in the shade 2 and Vanilla, and I'm just applying it with a foundation brush. This one feels so lightweight. It evens out my skin tone. It looks very natural looking. It's not heavy on the face. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a mask. I don't know about you guys, but there is some times where I put a foundation on and it feels a little bit thick and like heavy feeling. But this one doesn't feel like that at all. It has a huge shade range and for all sorts of different skin tones. For cool, neutral, warm. It does really well throughout the day. Like it's one of those foundations that lasts. So this is the L'Oreal foundation all blended in. But look at how lovely it is. It really is such a great, great foundation from the drugstore. My skin looks healthy, radiant, and I like how it's not, it never looks cakey. It just gives a natural finish. I can still see my natural skin still poking through, but it has just evened out my skin tone and looks fresh. So next up is concealer. The one concealer that I think really does rival high-end concealers out there is by L'Oreal. This is not a sponsored L'Oreal video. These are just products that I really think are a great alternative to the higher end products. So the one by L'Oreal is the True Match. This is the Instant Serum Concealer. I did a whole video last year sometime when I first was introduced to this and fell in love with it. I think this one is actually better than the NARS. I know like NARS is a cult favorite. I do have like a little sample size of NARS. And don't get me wrong, I know this is a great concealer. It does a nice job of covering up dark circles. It's very creamy. But when I compare it to the L'Oreal, again, remember when I said this isn't shade or anything like that. So these are totally different shades. But see, here's the NARS. Here's the L'Oreal. Like you see how lovely the L'Oreal is. Like I said, the reason I think it's better than higher end brands, and NARS is just an example. There's tons of other high end concealers out there. But this one has hyaluronic acid in it and caffeine. The caffeine's going to help with that darkness under your eye. It's going to help brighten the under eye area up. As you can see, I have, even using color corrector, that darkness still pokes through. So I need a really good concealer to hide that darkness. I do have this in the shade N3. I love the applicator. Like it's such a unique little wand. It almost looks like a little foot. So it fits in nicely right in my under eye area. I always apply it just where I'm darkest and right at the end, just to give the area a bit of lift. I am going to show you a little trick that a viewer had suggested to me. She said that she was watching another content creator, and and she's a makeup artist. One of the things that she does is she puts the concealer onto the back of her hand like that, and then she uses the brush and applies it that way. She said it looks more natural. So I have been testing it here and there. I always let the concealer just sit for a few seconds before I start blending it in, and that way it warms up with the warmth of my skin. I'm just using the Real Techniques. This is just the Kitten Paw concealer brush. And I just start tapping it in. This one is also great because it has a bit of a serum in the formula. So that does help with it never looking dry under my eyes at all. The coverage is amazing. And I just think it looks radiant. And this is how it'll stay for the rest of the day. With this concealer, I very, very seldom have to powder. It's not overly dewy. It just looks nice and radiant. It doesn't crease under my eyes. And by the end of the night, it hasn't done that whole settling thing where it's all accentuated any of my fine lines. So now what I'm going to do on this side is use the little bit that I've put on my hand here. I'm avoiding the NARS one. The only thing with this method that I do find is I sometimes have to add a little bit more than I do on this side than I did like when I actually put it right onto my skin. I find that I do have to go in just a little bit more to grab more product. But it certainly does look, you know, in all fairness, it does look a little bit more, I guess, natural. So I'm not taking the credit for this technique at all. She just like I said, one of my viewers had mentioned it to me. So I don't know if you can see the difference between this one where I did the different method on this side than this side. This side looks maybe a little bit more luminous. I don't know. Compared to the one where I just went in with the wand. So let me know down in the comments if you can see any sort of difference between the two sides. I'll come a little closer. All right, so I just finished my eyes off camera. So now we're going to talk a little bit about bronzer. So one of my favorite bronzers is the one by L'Oreal. It's the Infallible 24-hour fresh wear bronzer. I have this in the shade 300, which is light medium. You can see it's a well-used bronzer. And I think this really does rival some of those higher end bronzers. I'll give you an example of one. And don't get me wrong, I love Makeup by Mario products. This is his Soft Sculpt Bronzer. Now the packaging is beautiful. It has one of those magnetic closure type of packaging. Has a little mirror. The formula is fantastic. It's expensive, right? It's a higher end bronzer. Well, when you look at my L'Oreal one, I mean, this one does have a little mirror as well. It is sweat proof, humidity proof, waterproof. So it does a lot of the similar things. One of the ingredients in the Makeup by Mario is I believe it has hyaluronic acid in it. But for the actual performance of the bronzer, the L'Oreal is just a favorite. It applies nicely. It's super pigmented. Doesn't fade on me. And look at, how can you go wrong with that? That it just looks beautiful. It has more of a dry down to like a matte formula, which I'm okay with. So for sure, I think the L'Oreal really does rival higher end brands. If you see a little bit of sun coming on this side, I have to have the window open today because looks like it's going to be our last day of some sunshine tomorrow. They're already saying that we are just getting like torrential downpours tomorrow. So I wanted to appreciate probably one of the, really nice days we're going to have for a little while. All right, let's get into blush. So one of my absolute favorite blushes that I think has been around forever, it's a cult favorite, is the one by Milani. So this is their baked blush in the shade Luminoso. That's the important part because I think the Luminoso shade is stunning. But I think what a lot of people have compared this one to is the formulas by NARS. And again, that's going to be a huge price difference. I actually have the cult favorite NARS. I'm not going to say the name because I'll probably get censored or something. I don't know if it's a copyright thing. So I'm not even going to say the name of this particular shade. But you'll know which one it is. But this one, again, it's beautiful. It has a bit of sheen to it. Much like the Milani one, this has a bit of sheen to it, but it's not glittery. It's one of those blushes that you can build up if you want. So it can look intense, it can look subtle. It looks beautiful on all skin tones. Honestly, I think it just is so beautiful for mature skin. It's one of those blushes that even though it's like a powder, it doesn't settle all into fine lines and it just looks stunning. I think it makes my cheek area just look very radiant. The color payoff is amazing. So definitely a blush that rivals high-end products. So let's get into lipstick. Well, one of my go-to brands for lipstick from the drugstore is by Revlon. And it's usually the Super Lustrous lipsticks. I do have two shades that are my go-to shades. One is called Bare It All, and one is called Flushed. I'll see if I can link these ones because I'm not sure if one of them may be discontinued, but they are superior to high-end brand lipstick. I mean, first of all, they've been around forever. Just swatch the couple of shades that I do have. So this is Bare It All, just a beautiful neutral shade, and that is Flushed. It's the pink one. It's such a pretty shade for spring. It's one of my go-tos for spring. But when I compare these to a high-end brand, I think of matte lipstick because MAC lipsticks have been around forever too. But the quality for the Revlon compared to a MAC one, so I have MAC, and this one is in the shade Blankety. It's a really pretty neutral, like a pinky neutral shade. But the formula is very, very similar to my Revlon. It's creamy. They both have great staying power, even though they're a bullet lipstick. The Revlon one in particular has so many different shades. I did use the lip liner today, the Maybelline one. I had already filled them in with the lip liner. This one is in the shade Big Lift. That's my go-to shade. But the combination of the lip liner and the lipstick, look at how beautiful that looks together. I think it's just gorgeous for fall. But anyhow, back to the lipstick. When I'm applying it, all I usually do is like 1 or 2 little swipes, and it stays. It never feels dry. It's very comfortable on the lip. I don't think you need to go out and spend a fortune on a lipstick when you have an amazing quality lipstick from Revlon. And I'm going to talk a little bit about glosses. So I have an actual lip gloss and then a lip oil, which I think rival high-end brands. So the Maybelline Lifter glosses, I think, are amazing. But this one, I wanted to compare it a little bit to the Patrick Ta plumping lip glosses. Now, do you have to run out and grab the Patrick Ta lip glosses just to get some plumping effect? No, I don't think so. I mean, they're beautiful, right? Like they have that little bit of plumping effect to them. It has a big doe foot applicator. They smell amazing. It actually does have a little bit of like a cinnamon scent to it. But do I think that the Maybelline does just as good of a job? Yes, I do. This has hyaluronic acid in it, which is going to give that real moisturizing effect to the lip. So what I'm going to do is put half of the gloss on this side, because what I want to show you is a product that gives the plumping effect, if that's what you're looking for. So the L'Oreal, the Plump Ambition lip oils will give you that plumping effect. Now, it is not an actual gloss like the Patrick Ta. They really do act like a gloss. Has a nice little doe foot applicator. And even the shades, that's why I picked these ones, because if you look at the 2 shades here and then the Patrick Ta, very, very similar. They both feel very nourishing. Right now, I can feel the L'Oreal side is giving me a little bit of a cooling sensation. I think just having that glossy effect really does make the lips look a little bit fuller. So I think 2 wonderful lip products that rival high-end. So if you enjoy these type of videos, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. All the products that I talked about today, the high-end ones and also the drugstore ones, I will have linked and listed down in the description box. And I'll also link any other videos that I may have used some of these products in. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!